Hello, guys. Hello, guys. How we doing? Oh, you're right. Yeah, I know it's been a while. It's been a while. So, as you can see, this live is going to be a remembrance for Adonis. But let's get people in the live. Let's get people in the live before we start. Let's get people in the live before we start. Alright, guys, we're going to start. I'm going to give you guys a introduction for why we're in this live right now. So this live today is about Adonis. He was a 10-month-old baby. He was about to embark his first holiday in Portugal when the unthinkable was about to begin for Adonis and his family. So the purpose of this life is to share the horrific event of how the holiday spun out, including raw sensitive information. I don't know if you guys have seen the interview on BBC, but they didn't get to say what really happened. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to add them in a live right now. Adonis. Add them in a live right now. Add them in. So these are going to be his parents. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
You guys all right?
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, great. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Adonis' mum
And I'm Paul, Adonis' dad.
from Deza, sorry.
Okay. Are you guys ready to proceed? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you had to explain Adonis to all of us, how would you describe him?
He was sunshine. He was such a friendly, smiley, happy baby, and he completed us. He was like the last bit. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Adonis was to describe. I call him the mighty Adonis. The mighty Adonis from birth. The reason being is because he was 6 weeks early, and from birth he never needed any support. So any like support to breathe or to eat. So he didn't have those tube in his nose 6 weeks early, to the point that the nurses at North Middlesex Hospital were saying that they've never seen this before. One of the head nurses, she said in 20 years, she's never seen this. 6 weeks early, and you needed no help breathing or feeding. So that was mighty Adonis from the start. And so I say, baby, I've never been sick. Very strong baby from start.
Mm, 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 mm. That's good. That's good. So he was a strong baby then.
Yeah, man, mighty Adonis, man.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So with the holiday, what? So you decided to go on holiday. What made you guys go?
Because I was pregnant last year, so we didn't get to take the kids away anywhere for last year. So we just decided to take them away this year. We didn't even tell the children that they were going. They didn't know they were going until we got to the airport.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we'd planned it to just for a getaway because we hadn't had a break for a while.
Yeah, because Adonis was born on the 19th of July, and as Deza says, because it was the summer holidays, we were unable to give the kids the summer holidays. The other brothers, we couldn't give them that, so that's why it was a surprise to this year summer to have a good summer, and that was the start by booking this holiday to Portugal and have it as a surprise for them.
Okay. So it was flight time. How was everyone feeling?
The boys were excited. Adonis was excited. He always followed his brother, so all I remember is him. His brother screamed, so Adonis had to copy everything our 4-year-old did. But apart from that, he was even the woman next to us commented on how well behaved and lovely all the kids were, in particular Adonis. Yeah, we was excited, really excited about it. Yeah, it was nice.
How was Adonis like on the day?
Fine. There's nothing untoward. I keep going back in my mind over and over again and replaying everything in my mind, but there was nothing.
Adonis was live and active,
Mm.
Same Adonis, loving his food, what I mean, calling his brother, just enjoying the whole thing, and it's just been really, really good. We got so much videos as well. I mean, I got videos where can prove that Adonis was well and strong and happy. So that's why we thought that, it was gonna be the best time of our life.
So the first day, what did you guys do? The first day you got there.
We got to the resort quite late. We got there really, really late, early hours of the morning. So we all just slept in, and then in the morning we went to find a supermarket. And Adonis in particular loves pastry, so we went and found him his pastry. That's what I remember, chocolate-filled pastry. He loved them. So he was eating them. We just looked around the resort. We went to the swimming pool. He wasn't too keen on the pool because it was a bit cold for him. But the rest of it, he was just happy, just chilling. It was just really chilled and really, really nice.
I remember it was so hot. The first day it was really, really hot. And it's just like me 31, I don't know. But it was really hot the first day, so everyone really had a nice day around the pool. We played pool. Everything was nice. Adonis was eating well. First day, just perfect.
So when did Adonis start showing signs of being unwell?
So on the Tuesday night.
Is that the second day?
Second day in the evening.
In the night I woke up and he had a bit of a temperature.
Okay.
But he was teething. He was a very routine baby, so he had everything. So he was out of his routine. I just didn't put it down to anything but him having a temperature because he was teething.
Yeah.
And then when I gave him the cow pole, it's settled. So
Mm.
he was fine in the morning, ate his breakfast, everything was normal. I was
Yeah.
giving him the Calpol every few hours, and that seemed to be okay.
So what were the signs?
We went to the we was out at by the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And within seconds, I noticed that he's breathing. He looked like he was breathing a little bit. He was working a bit too hard.
Yeah.
And I've got a son who I was in hospital with him every year with asthma, so I know what to kind of look for.
Yeah.
And his temperature had started going up, but he wasn't due another dose of Calpol. So with that, within about 2 seconds, I said, I'm going to the hospital. As soon as I saw that, I said, I'm going to the hospital.
Yeah.
And we jumped straight in a cab and took him straight to the hospital.
How was he in himself?
He was still okay. He was just looked like he was, but there was nothing that, I mean, if it concerned me that much, I would have jumped in and got an ambulance,
Yeah.
you know, but he was okay. I was still, you know, he would just look like he was just had a little bit of, he was just working a bit hard.
Yeah. So you said you took him to hospital. Which hospital did you take him?
Portimao Hospital.
Okay. So what happened when you got there?
So they gave him blood tests, urine tests, X-ray. They flushed his nose out. They were doing so many tests that I said, "Oh, they know that we've got travel insurance, you know, because they're really going through it with that." So we made a little bit of a joke.
Yeah.
And then they took him in and they weighed him and they asked me how much pain relief I was giving him. So when I explained to them, they said, "Oh, it's because he's a big baby. You need to give him more." So I was trying to explain that in the UK we do it according to age.
Yeah. How long did that take? Because you're saying they basically tested them with everything. So how long did that take?
What the tests?
Yeah.
They was just concurrent, weren't they?
Because we arrived at We arrived at the hospital about 7:30, and we left the hospital at 12, 1 o'clock the following day.
Oh,
so
the whole day then.
That's why we was.
Yeah, it was really thorough.
We was confident because they was very thorough. We was just worrying about how much it was gonna cost.
Yeah.
And then, as I say, laughing about it. Yeah, we got insurance, so that's why they rinse us.
Yeah.
So they was doing test after test after test after test. So we got confident at the end that they're taking it seriously, and it would have been.
So they gave him a nebulizer, because by the time I got to the hospital, it had turned into a little crackle, but nothing again. It was.
What after them tests? What did they say?
So they did all the tests, and then they said he's got bronchiolitis.
Okay.
We have seen something in his blood, but we're saying it's the bronchiolitis. And they gave me paracetamol, ibuprofen, which I had to alternate the two, and an asthma pump, salbutamol pump.
So, okay. So, did they know what the problem was?
So as far as they said he has bronchiolitis. Just give him his pump every 8 hours and alternate between the Calpol and the ibuprofen. And I was a bit surprised, because then they said that I had to get a cab to a 24-hour chemist, because by then it was really late. Because normally you get dispensed from the hospital, so I was a little bit lost. So the security called us a cab, and we ended up driving around trying to find this place.
For an hour.
Yeah, we were driving around and it was pitch black. I was a bit scared, because we was in the.
When did you leave that? When did you leave that hospital?
We left the hospital about midnight.
Yeah, after 12, close to 1 o'clock. And I have to say, if it was not the security guard, because obviously, like, she had to go inside by herself, because they had some COVID rules still on, like, where it's only one parent allowed. I think even over here sometimes they do that. But anyways, so I was outside all this time, and then the security guard.
Sorry to stop. So from that place, you didn't leave with any medication. They didn't give you guys any medication.
And then, so we was in a big square, So they gave me a prescription, and then we went to a big square. There were drunk people fighting, and I think even the cab driver felt a bit away because he got out and stood with me because they were only allowing one person in at a time, and it was down these little roads, and it was frightening.
So did they send you? Did they send you guys there?
Yeah, they
Well,
sent
that's what I
me
was
the
about to say to you. It's like, if it was not, because remember, in Portugal, we don't speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
So if it was not the rapport that I built with the security guard outside, because he could speak a bit of English, then we would have been in trouble, because it's the security guard that spoke to the cab driver and explained exactly, if he looked on his phone himself where there was a pharmacy available, then he gave the address. Do you get what I mean? So if it wasn't a security guard, then I don't even know how I would get those medicine, to be honest. So
So when you guys got there, what did you guys get?
Well, it was only half a prescription because they gave me the pain relief and they gave me an inhaler with no spacer. And I said, how's my son supposed to have this medicine administered? And they said, well, we haven't got it, so I had to buy one.
You had to buy one?
Yeah, that was like 35 euros. It was just lucky that I had brought out money sort of with me for this.
Wow.
So I had everything, and then we went home.
So they didn't give you guys advice, aftercare advice?
No.
They didn't reinsure you guys?
No.
All right. So the next day, what happened?
The next day he was doing much better. You know, his temperature was kept down. He started eating. He was sitting up. He was coming back. He was crying.
Okay, so he gained his strength. He was eating.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you took Adonis back to hospital. Why?
I put him to bed, and I woke up in the morning, and he was really floppy, and his eye was really swollen. And I just said we need to take him back, but even that morning he was still eating. We gave him yogurt, and then he had a drink, and before we went, and then I got in the cab.
Yeah, take your time.
I just want to mention the night before. So the Thursday we had a good day. He was recovering.
Yeah.
He had a good night. The night before, he ate so much. Can you remember?
Yeah, he did.
This boy was eating to the point that, you know what I mean. Then after that, he vomited a bit. Then after that, he had a very good night. He slept very well. Like, we was confident. Then, but in the morning, he woke up. His eye was a little bit swollen, and she was feeding him. We fed him in the morning. I even because I said, "Oh, don't give him juice. I'm gonna give him water."
Yeah.
And I gave him some yogurt.
Yeah.
I gave him some yogurt. So the boy's eating, but he's just weak. So we thought maybe because he was here for 2 days, then maybe he's just weak, and he probably needs to thingy. But then there's a notice.
His eyes were just, I don't know, it was just swollen, but it was moving really strange. I don't know. I can't
The eyes was moving a little bit like on the side, like not up and down, but like on the side. So then we saw for like, nah, we don't take no risk, no more. We go into the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the symptoms was basically he was weak, and his eyes was he just didn't feel that he was himself.
Like a lazy eye. He has a lazy eye on the was it left or the right eye, right? It was the left eye. Was it like a bit of a lazy eye on the left eye? So when we noticed that, Deza's just rushed to the hospital.
Okay, so we get to the hospital. How was the nurses? What happened? Yeah.
At first, it was they took him in. They said to me, "Oh, we're gonna redo the tests," and I was happy with that. I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
There was no real urgency. There was nothing that would make me feel that it was he was as ill as he was. Or and then we went to the emergency room. We went to triage. She just asked me again what happened, but he was still kind of batting them off and stuff. He still had strength. He was still okay. They said we're going to redo all the tests, and then they gave him a nebulizer, but then they gave him another one, and then they just he was on the bed and he was just laying there, and I kept saying to them, does he need antibiotics? Does he need IV? What does he need? Can you look at his eye? And it's like I was getting on their nerves because they kept saying to me, oh, Mum, like, what do you mean? And I kept saying, look at his eye. They kept saying, no, Mum, it's just that he's tired. And when children have, with their breathing, this happens. But I just asked him.
So you wasn't at ease at this point?
No, I just get, and everything I was saying to them, they were saying, we don't know.
So there wasn't help. So they wasn't helping you.
No. He was just laying there.
Did they speak to you? Did the staff speak to you in English?
At that point, there were two ladies, but because no one introduced themselves to us, I couldn't say who was who. I could just recognise them sort of by their uniform. I could assume that they were nurses that were dealing with me. And then they picked him up and they said, we're going to go to the observation room. And I was happy because I was like, okay, if we're going to the observation room, then he's going to be okay. He's all right. They're confident. And they put him in the cot, and she's looking at me saying over and over again, Mummy's going to be fine. Mummy's going to be fine. Just go and get a coffee, and just breathe. So I went and I got a coffee.
So at this point, who dealt with you directly, and who were present in Adonis's care?
These two ladies, that I'm assuming were nurses. But again, nobody said anything. Nobody introduced themselves. There was a lady that kept walking in and out with a stethoscope, and every now and again she'd just put it and listen and then walk out again and say something in Portuguese, but I honestly don't know who anybody was.
So no one came to introduce themselves directly. So so the person that was dealing with Adonis, you didn't know the identity?
No.
Okay. So was Adonis at this point? Was Adonis care being explained to you?
Nothing.
So you didn't? Did you understand what? Did you understand what it was?
No. I just wanted to stop going on because I just wanted them to focus on him.
Yeah.
And I felt like the more that I kept going on, they weren't going to be focusing on him, and I didn't know what was happening. But I truly believed that he was in the right hands and we was in the right place, and just let them do their job. So at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I just wanted them to just watch him and just look after him.
Yeah. So at this point, take your time with this one. Explain what happened at this point. You can take your time.
So I went to get a coffee and I came back, and by then he's sat. Okay, so by then they decided to give him antibiotics.
Yeah.
So when I came, they was getting them ready because I'd gone out for 5 minutes, and they said, we're going to give him antibiotics. But there was just a lot of arguing and a lot of toing and froing between the nurses. I didn't feel like at any point they were all agreeing. There was things that were happening, but again, I didn't understand what was happening.
So they wasn't speaking in English?
All talking Portuguese, and then all around me, and then his sats started dropping, and it took them about 15 minutes. They said they were going to put him on oxygen to keep him comfortable, and it took them about 15 minutes just to get this bottle of oxygen on the wall.
Is Adonis on the bed or on your
Yeah,
arm?
he's on the bed.
Okay.
And because they're trying to sort of fit in with the mask, so they finally got that on him.
Yeah.
And then he stabilized, and the one thing that the nurse said to me, there were like two of them standing in front of the monitor, and she said to me, he's not getting worse.
Okay.
He's not getting worse.
Okay. And how did you feel?
Sorry?
Did you feel like he wasn't?
I felt better because I could see that he was stabilizing. Everything was stabilizing once he'd had the oxygen. And then I felt relaxed. I was like, okay, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Then this woman came out of nowhere. I don't know who she was. I assumed, again, she was a doctor.
Yeah.
And she just came and she said, we don't know why he's floppy.
Yeah.
Is this, she said to me, is he usually like this?
But did she speak, was she speaking in English? Okay.
At that point,
okay.
She said, and we can't even find anything in his blood.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really strange because I said, but you saw something in his blood 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Why would there be nothing there now? So she said, he needs stronger medication.
Yeah.
So with that, she started talking in Portuguese again. She didn't explain to me why he needed it.
Mm.
If you don't know what's wrong with him, what are you treating?
Yeah.
So then they just come and they just said, Mum, he needs to sit up.
Yeah.
So they put him on my lap and I was holding him. And they put a mask on him and I could see them.
Did she ask? Did she ask?
Say anything. They just started filling up a bottle behind me.
Did she say what it was that she was putting? Okay.
And they put it on him. And then he flinched. And whatever was in the mask, it come up at the top.
Mm.
And it stank like, it was so strong that I burst into tears because I thought, I can't even bear the smell of what's come out the top. We've encased his whole face in it.
Yeah.
And then I've said, well, what is this? And then they looked at him and
tell them what it smells like.
It's like bleach. It smelled like bleach. And they've just ripped him off me and ran with him to the opposite. I don't even know what room it was.
So the thing in the mask, let me just get this right. So the thing they put in the mask smelled like bleach.
Yeah.
So as soon as they put that on him, he's flinched.
Yeah.
So did she take it straight off or what happened?
She took it straight off and she just ran. She just ran with him and I still didn't know what was going on.
Was there a reaction? Why did she take it straight off? Was there a reaction?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming is because as soon as they put that mask on, it just reacted. I don't know what they saw.
Yeah. Did they take him off you at this point?
Yeah. And they just ran and I was just left standing there because I didn't understand anything that was happening. I didn't get it.
Did he go into a shock or what made them grab him off you and rush him off?
At that point he wasn't breathing. It's not breathing.
So as soon as the mask came off, the mask basically caused the reaction.
They said he was sick and he aspirated
from the mask, after the mask.
So can I just say, TK, just to be clear, because obviously there's a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
But to be clear, the baby was fine. A doctor came in. It was in the observation room. Therefore, it's under observation. Therefore, they consider that the baby is stable.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was under antibiotics. His sat was getting well. His breathing was getting better.
Yeah.
That doctor barged in and she decided that the baby need stronger medication, although she cannot see what's in the blood. Then she, as Deza says, went on to give instructions, I guess, to the nurses and speaking in Portuguese when they go ahead and put something, a bottle, a liquid that turn into steam and smoke and goes into the oxygen mask, and they put that onto the baby face. The 1 second after, a second is very quick. Everyone know what 1 second is. 1 second after inhaling this product, the baby flinches, goes into cardiac arrest.
So you went into cardiac arrest.
Correct. So what they are saying is that the baby at that particular moment stopped breathing while vomiting. So therefore he aspirated on his vomit and went into cardiac arrest. So it was just to make this clear. All right. Then obviously they took the baby off Deza and ran with the baby to another room. And I don't know if you're ready to carry on.
It was just, I just remember they'd been sick everywhere. They was just sick everywhere.
What color was the sick?
Like yellow. It was just everywhere. I was thinking to myself, where did that even come from? Because it's so small.
So much of it.
And then I couldn't watch anymore. I couldn't. So I sat, and I was just by myself for a long time because Paul was with the other children at the resort. So I called him. And for that whole time, nobody spoke to me. Nobody.
What was there? So at this time, Adonis is still in the room with them.
Yeah.
So what are they doing and what are they saying? What are they doing with them?
Well, they clearly was trying to resuscitate, like bring him back to life, isn't it?
Why did you feel like that was happening?
Sorry, TJ. What?
Yes. Why did you feel like that was happening? Like they was trying to. So at this time, are you saying that he wasn't breathing?
He was officially not breathing.
So at this point, they was trying to bring it back.
After him vomiting out whatever, they went on to trying to resuscitate him, i.e. Mouth. They was putting that oxygen thing and then pumping him. Because when I arrived,
okay. How long did that take? When all this is happening, how long is this going on for?
By the time you call me,
did they bring him back?
They said that I can't remember how many hours it was that they were trying to get him stable. They were saying.
And did they?
They say they did.
Because when I arrived,
go on.
Because the hotel or the resort is only 15 minutes away. Because the hotel was already aware of why she went to the hospital, I only wait 5 minutes for a cab. So I can tell you that from the minute that she called me to the minute that I went to hospital, less than 25 minutes went by. I can guarantee that. Now, when I arrived, I have witnessed when I went to sit next to Deza, and unfortunately, when I arrived, I have witnessed the pumping.
Yeah, okay.
And
you saw the pumping.
The thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I said to Des, he's not breathing by himself. But the monitor was going right. So we sat outside.
Yeah. Did they tell you to sit outside?
No, we was in that corridor.
No one said anything.
Because when I arrived, it's like they knew straight away. I didn't have to talk. They opened, they say, here she is. And I went straight to her.
Okay. Was anyone allowed to be in there when they was doing all the checks on trying to bring him back to life?
They shut the door. You were locked for a little while, weren't you?
Well, me, I was just I was looking through. I was standing in the corridor looking through. That's why I saw them trying to revive him.
So what was you doing at that point in the corridor?
I was just trying to assess the nurses' reactions as to what was going on with him, because they were crying, and one of them was holding a cross, and so that's all we had, and we were by the main entrance, so everyone that was going into triage could see what was going on. Everybody was looking. We weren't taken into a side room. We had no privacy. It was like
we were sitting right out. We were sitting right out the entrance in the corridor of the pediatric emergency center. So once the door open or close, you can see us. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
From
you.
the main
How many doctors was in that room?
Well, there was a lot that came, and they were all arguing, weren't they?
It's a tricky question. You know why it's a tricky question?
There was arguing.
There was a lot of arguing in Portuguese going on.
Yeah.
What, in the room?
TK, can I say?
Yeah.
It's a tricky question because no one has introduced themselves to us.
Oh.
No one was wearing a badge like any hospital in the UK. It's like people just wearing clothes, all type of different type of clothes. We didn't know, we don't know, or we didn't know at the time who was who. So you asking how many doctors?
Yeah, okay.
Very different. We don't know that because we don't know who was doctors, and there's a rumor or there's allegation that says that there were any qualified doctor in the room.
So
at the time.
So doctors or no doctors, how many people in that room?
I think there was about, at this point, maybe about 8.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, eight minimum.
Eight people in that room. And could you see what they were doing?
Well, I could see what they were doing.
I couldn't watch what they were doing.
I could see what they were doing.
What were they doing?
Well, they was trying to put tubes in. As I said, when at first it was the breathing thing. They put the oxygen thing that they're pumping, and then they're there on the chest.
So how long is that going on for?
A good 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
A good 3-5 minutes. Yeah, we went on for to the point. I'm like, because they was doing it so normally, and then me, I'm just focusing on the monitor. As long as I can hear t, that's what I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
So whatever they do, as long as he's alive, innit?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm focusing on the monitor, and then to the point I turned to Deza. I say, but the monitor is thinking, but it doesn't look like it's breathing by himself.
Oh,
because they have to press that thing to give him the oxygen.
Yeah. Okay. So so you said they were arguing.
So at that point, they once he's been stabilized, once they finished working on him and he was sort of stabilized, however, the monitor was still going a little bit crazy.
Oh, did they tell you he was stabilized, or?
Well, they said, she sort of said that, but they invite us in the room, remember? Yeah. They say stabilize and say, oh, if you want to come and see him. So we went. So
when you went and saw him, what happened?
And they said, come and give him a kiss. And I kissed him, and he had a bit of, it was like bruising on his chest, and I said, what is that? And they said, we don't know. But when I went in there, they were all talking in Portuguese, and they were kind of debating over what was being written on the whiteboard with his medication, and there was just a vibe in there where not everyone was agreeing with what was happening.
But there's a woman that came in. Remember that there's a woman, blonde hair, short woman that came in, and she started shouted at everyone. She shouted at everyone. She even shouted at the doctor that was in charge, to the point that the doctor that was in charge just stepped back. And because there was issue with how Adonis was reacting to whatever they was giving him. So I knew the conversation was around that.
Oh, around that,
yeah.
Okay.
And when that lady came, then whatever she was doing, Adonis started to react to whatever she was doing. And they was talking about the dosage in the catheter. There's that blue things where they was putting the liquid in that says the catheter, goes in the tummy. And they was talking about the dosage, and they was arguing about it, and she was taking out dosage, putting back in, and then keep on looking at the monitor. But as I said, what I was noticing is that whatever she was doing, it works, because I could see everything became normal. Everything became normal. And there was a lot of argument.
So at this point, is Adonis stable, alive, or how did you feel?
Adonis, at this point, Adonis is alive. Adonis is stable. The doctor left. There was one doctor that came to put the catheter. He came from wherever. He left. He said, "Okay, I'm the one that done it, so it's gonna be fine." And then we got left with this other doctor. However, during that time, so once we're inside, noticing what's happening, everything gets stabilized now. So we're going back outside to sit down, remember? And then that's where this doctor come and tell us, you know what, we're gonna, she asked us, but what's wrong with the baby? What's wrong with the baby? I found this weight. Why are you the doctor? And you ask me what's wrong with the baby? It just couldn't compute.
And then we were called into an intel room, and they started firing questions at us, asking if we had allergies. And then she said, "Are you? Is there stuff you're not telling us?" And I said, "That's my baby. What if there's something that I would tell you?" But we were made to feel at that point like we'd done something.
The lady told me, "Oh, this is a virus. Maybe you guys caught a virus. It's important for the country. You guys need to tell us. Maybe she asked, is your kids at home? Are they sick? Are they vomiting right now? Do you want to find out if they have diarrhea?" I'm like, "No, everyone's fine. Everyone's fine." She said, "You're sure? Because it's important for the country, because we don't understand what's going on. Maybe it's a virus." What?
So for me, it seems like they're trying to cover up something. They're trying to cover up. So, okay, so now you've been told that Adonis hasn't made it.
No, not yet. Not yet, my bro. Not yet. Because right now we're at the stage where we're outside, and we've been taken to a interrogation room. All right.
Yeah.
And been thrown all set of questions about, is my mom ill? Do I have allergy? Is anybody from my family has allergy? Because
so is this when Adonis is stable?
Correct.
So they say.
Correct. Then at that, when we came out of the inter room, the lady come to us, the same doctor. She said, "You know what? We can't deal with it here. We have to transfer him to another hospital, intensive care in Faro."
So after how long they decided now they have to transfer him?
Here we go. So we arrive at 10:30. She arrived at 10:30.
Yeah.
And that what we're talking about, it's now 2:30. Yes, it is. You know what? Yes, it is. It's now 2:30. 3 o'clock. Do you know why I know that? Because between the time that she told me that the helicopter been called and the time that helicopter arrived, it's been 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
So at 2:30, we've been told that he's gonna be transferred to a different hospital. Now he's stable. We just have to wait for the helicopter to come, and he's
so
gonna.
they said they was gonna transfer him through the helicopter.
Correct.
What hospital did they say?
Faro Hospital. Faro Hospital.
And how far was that?
It's 15 minutes by car and 15 minutes by helicopter. Let's say 20 minutes from the takeoff.
Okay, so what happened? Did they take him or?
So what happened?
So they was getting him ready to take him.
So now what happened is, as I explained, or we explained, 2:30 we got told that, right? So from 2:30 to 5:30, maybe a bit more. Yeah, 2:30 to 5:30, I would say. We waiting. So me, I pray, we go get coffee. We just been waiting, and all we see.
So from 3 o'clock, let me get this right. So from 3 o'clock, they said they're gonna transfer him.
Yeah.
But now it's 5 o'clock. They still ain't transferred him.
Correct.
Is the helicopter there?
No.
So the helicopter didn't arrive.
No.
So now it's 5 o'clock going to 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Helicopter arrived.
The helicopter arrived at 6.
About 5:30.
About 5:30. So then what happened? You wanted to take him.
So now, when the helicopter arrived, the helicopter crew rushed into the room. So now there's about 12 to 15 people in the room.
Yeah.
Because there's an ambulance crew, there's a helicopter crew, and then there's a normal crew from the hospital. So there's about 15 people in the room.
Yeah.
So what they have to do now, because the baby was stable, they have to transfer the baby from the support machine from the support machine of the hospital to the support machine from the helicopter.
Okay.
So everything have to be transferred to that machine.
Yeah.
And where we waited outside about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Again.
Yeah. Because what the helicopter crew was saying is that they don't feel that it is stable enough to handle the flight. So they wanted to make sure that it's stable enough. So they waited an hour and a half to have that confidence.
So this is like 6 hours. This is 7 o'clock now, or is it 6:30?
Correct.
That's the thing, because nobody kept us in the loop and nobody said, okay, this is what's happening, because I would have taken my baby and I would have taken him to another hospital, or I would have said, you know what, just work on him in the ambulance, work on him in the helicopter, because it's better you working on him, getting him to where he needs to go than just having him on the bed. But at no point where we kept, no one was asked us anything, or otherwise, like, it would have been different. I would have just said, just put him on the helicopter and just work on it in there. Yeah. What's the difference?
So when
go on.
So when they finally found confidence to transport him to the helicopter, so they blocked the whole hospital, this, that, and then they took him in an ambulance and took him to the helicopter platform. So at that point, they asked us if we had money to take a cab. And
they didn't let one of you in there?
No,
what did
they said we're not allowed.
So not even one of you?
No. They asked us if we have money to take a cab. They gave us the address for the hospital, and then we was just there waiting outside for the helicopter to take off.
So Adonis was in the helicopter?
No.
He wasn't in the helicopter?
It was in the ambulance,
In the ambulance.
that took him to the helicopter platform.
You can see
All right.
you can see the helicopter.
You could see
and then I was just waiting, and because we'd created, there was such a crowd at the main entrance. It's like they were all living it with us. So they was all relieved, and we was all relieved. And I said, as soon as I see the helicopter,
there was at least 50 people outside,
supporting you guys.
mummies. They was all crying with us, supporting us, telling us everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Everyone was confident that Adonis was gonna survive. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't see nothing else but that in people's eyes. Everyone was really confident. I don't know why. But anyways.
And then so the helicopter wasn't moving, and then the ambulance started coming back down the ramp, and I said to Paul, he's still in the ambulance, and he said, no.
How long was this?
This was literally about 10 minutes.
20 minutes. We waited at least 20 minutes.
Over 20 minutes.
So look, by 6:30, he got taken to this hospital platform, all right?
Yeah.
20 minutes later, the ambulance coming back down. Because we're waiting for this thing to take off, because we have to take a cab.
Yeah.
So, but the ambulance coming back down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she said, oh no, he's still in there. I said, no man, he must be in a helicopter. They're about to take off.
Yeah.
And then I see they open the door, and then I see Adonis.
And he had no dignity. He had nothing.
He had nothing on. They just rush him back in there. I'm like, what's going on? They say, oh, he's bleeding.
No, so they said,
it's a catheter. He's bleeding. That's what they said.
And I remember saying, thank God it's not his breathing, because I just thought if something simple like a catheter, you can just change it, and we'll be back on our way. And at that point, I just lost the plot, because no one was telling me nothing. And I just started shouting and saying, could someone please tell me what's going on? Can someone just please tell me what's happening? And then they dragged me into a room. They had me over arm, and they dragged me in, and there was a woman who was the cleaner. And I didn't want to go in the room, because I said, I know what happens when people get pulled into rooms. I don't want to go in there. I don't want you to tell me that he's not here anymore. And she kept repeating a word which I now know is dead. And she kept saying it. And I kept saying, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand that word. And then they elbowed her out. And then another man, again, I don't know who he was. He said, oh, it's bad. My English is not good. It's bad.
I'm bad. My English is not good. We're doing whatever we can. Yeah, we're doing whatever we can. That's how I was talking.
They was also.
We're doing whatever we can. Like, are we complaining? We're not complaining. Are we doing whatever we can? Yeah, my English no good. Bad, very bad, very bad. I say, oh, what is it? Then 50-50. He say, oh no, less 50-50. I said, you know what? Go and get someone that can speak English. Go and get that doctor that can speak English. And then in between that, that's when they say, oh, he stopped breathing, isn't it? In between that, they say stop breathing again.
Okay.
So, but like they say stop breathing, but me, I'm outside, and then I see the other lady, one of the, I don't know where she is, she just give a nudge to the doctor that was walking past, and then she said, like this, like go in there.
Yeah.
And the doctor walked in there. Imagine telling someone is not breathing.
Yeah.
The doctor walked in the room. I will never forget that. She walked in the room. Then remember, everything was corded off. So me, because of my eyes, I guess I can see, because it was like, probably a meter, 1.5. So I could oversee. So everything's corded off. Yeah. So I see this doctor walking in. Boom, I go back to Deza in the other room.
Yeah.
And starting to pray and everything again, right? Get on my knee.
So you got on your knees, you started to pray?
Yeah. I was praying the whole time.
Oh,
the whole time I was out loud. They was laughing. Therefore I was a madman. But me, I was just praying non-stop.
So they thought it was because of the way you was praying and shouting, they thought you was crazy.
Yeah, that's what I know, man. Praying, and there's nothing else to do.
Of course.
I pray hard. I pray the hardest.
Yeah.
And as I said, like when I was there in that room, that's when the doctor came back in, and she said, "Oh, we revived him," and then she walked back out, right? And then
So she
after
walked in and said we revived him,
she
and she walked back in.
walked back out, yeah, right. That was after the guy is telling me, "Oh, 50-50, less 50-50 is bad." And then the other cleaning lady, because now we know she was a cleaner, telling Deza, "Oh, morte, like the baby is dead." So she was saying that to her. Then about 5 minutes later, we heard, "Oh yeah, he stopped breathing." So basically, there's a lot of thingy. And then after that, the nurse, as I said, she walked in like really, like it was no urgency. Then after that, I went outside to pray even more. There's upstairs in the room. Then you start screaming or something.
No, they came. I sat back outside and
Yeah. So they came. What is this? Is this the point when they told you?
Yeah. So
at that point, just before that, they were all laughing outside the room.
I swear.
We thought that
Before everything was fine.
They were laughing. They were laughing.
Because listen, you have to remember, we're in the room. They told us that the baby stopped breathing. Then after that, she said they revived him. So then we here in and out, trying to see, because I'm saying even if it's 1%, it's only God that will decide.
Yeah.
So me, I'm still confident in that point. And I'm like, okay, so I'm there looking over and watching and praying. I'm there walking around by the entrance, and I'm watching them, and they're all congregated, about 5-6 of them, maybe a bit more. Because remember, there was about 15 people in the room. There's about 5 people outside waiting. So it's a lot of people around. And it was like a party outside. And that is maybe half an hour before.
You must be thinking he was alive when they were.
Yeah, so we was like, oh,
so
they're laughing. So we like, do you get it? Like, because
Yeah.
remember the last word is that they revived him.
Yeah.
So it's like, so we still confident. We still confident. So I'm outside. I go outside praying, and then maybe 15 minutes later or 20 minutes later, that's when the security guard called me in.
Yeah.
I was sitting by the entrance.
Yeah.
And then the doctor come out.
she didn't take us into a side room.
And the doctor come out by the entrance, and she said, "Sorry, guys." I said, "What? What do you mean sorry? What sorry what?" You get it? Then I ran outside like screaming. There's a screaming. Me, I go outside. I will go a bit mad for a little bit. Then I come back like space of 3-5 minutes. I come back to Deza, we there hugging up, and then I lift my head. All I see is 2 syringes in front of me. And the lady say, "Oh, you don't have to take it. It's your choice, but if you take it, you're gonna feel better." And
then because I was screaming,
what was the syringes for?
Again, they didn't say.
No idea, right? As I said, that's what they said. If you take it, you're gonna feel better.
So then Paul went.
So did any of you take it?
They gave it to me because I was screaming so much.
She was screaming, so they just give it to her. She said, "Oh, they just put it in her mouth."
So you put it in your mouth. How did you feel? What happened?
I felt sick.
Yeah.
And then
did you feel
So at that point, she wasn't feeling too well. I mean, they asked me. I said, "I refuse to take this." Then she said, "Oh, do you want to see the baby? Do you want to say goodbye?" That's what she says.
Yeah.
Do you want to say goodbye? Just like that. And I mean, that was the word that I was using. Just like that. What? Just like that. Just like that. Like, just like that. I take my baby, I bring my baby for bronchitis, and then just like that, you're telling me, oh, you're sorry, and do you want to say goodbye? So I was already getting onto my mode, but obviously I've never experienced it. I don't even know how to react. But anyways, I say I will take my strength, and I want to go and see my baby.
So you went in there.
Yeah, he did.
So I went in there before Deza.
So what happened?
So when I went in there, so the baby was covered, like white sheets all around. So the only thing that you can see is the head. So I'm like, what is this? So I'm grabbing him and I'm taking the thingy off at the same time. But when I'm grabbing him, then blood start leaking from the mouth and the nose. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I'm putting him back down, and I take the whatever they wrap him with, and I wipe his nose, I wipe his mouth. I'm just making sure I'm wiping him in it. Then when I'm opening I'm just opening the sheets to see his body. The whole chest was burned. The whole chest was burned. So I'm like, what the hell is this? Or again, in my mood, I don't understand. So I give my own answers. I'm like, oh, maybe is when they try to.
When you say his chest, what, his whole chest, the
So
belly also, or just the chest?
So this side, so the remember it's a baby, so it's a small chest.
Yeah.
So it's 3/4 of the chest.
Yeah.
But from the left shoulder or going in.
Yeah.
So the whole region was burned. Like the skin was up, was like it's bubbling up. Don't know how to explain it. Burned, black.
So they said to us.
Yeah. So then,
did you ask them what it was?
But at this time, you know, onto this. Like you just say, you're here to say bye bye to your son that you don't even, like, you don't even understand why
what's going on.
It, like it's crazy.
And then I was still outside, and I was telling them I wasn't ready. I didn't want to see him yet, and they dragged me again. They picked me up and dragged me into the room, and
they dragged you to the room.
I kept saying to them, I'm not ready, and they put my head in the sink because I wanted to be sick, and they said according to Portuguese law, you only get half an hour with him.
Half an hour?
Yeah. We didn't even get half an hour.
So I said to them, half an hour. So what happened after an hour? They said,
so they only gave you half an hour.
Yeah, we didn't even get
that.
that.
We didn't get that. We didn't get half an hour. We didn't get half an hour.
And then Paul kept saying to me, why is the body so stiff? Like, he was trying to put his arms around his neck, but he couldn't. He was stiff. And you could just see his body.
So the body was stiff?
Yeah, we kept. See, when I put the body back down, Deza came in. She tried to vomit, so they put her head in the sink. So then after when she was ready, she started. I said, "Come." She was sitting on the floor.
Sorry to stop you. If they said he just passed, how can the body go stiff so quick?
Please, that's the question. That's the question. That's when I realized those people.
So that, because for the body to go stiff, that would have meant he was not dead when they said he was.
He was dead.
Yeah.
Correct. And we only find, well, that's because obviously this is a lot of legal things that's gonna get involved, but we can only say what's out there. So what's out there based on the Portuguese newspapers, based on some English newspapers, whatever. He died. He had his cardiac arrest in the helicopter. That's where he died. They said, from what I'm reading, that he died in the helicopter.
Oh, okay. And how many? So when from the helicopter they took him in, how how long was that?
Well, they said helicopter was about 6:30 to 6:45. So those are the 15 to 20 minutes where they was doing whatever they was doing up there before they brought him back down.
Yeah.
But when they brought it back down, he was already dead.
But they told you they revived
according to the papers, because we doing autopsy, so we don't even know. We challenging everything.
Yeah, of course.
So we don't even know the time of death.
Yeah.
But what, as you beautifully noticed, is that why, if he died 15 minutes ago, you just told me 15 minutes ago that he's dead. Why is the body cold? Why is my son is stiff? I can't put his arms around I can't put his arm around my neck. Huh?
Yeah. And then so after 10 minutes they all come round the bed to that kind of make us feel that we have to go, and then the doctor gave us a piece of paper and told us that we needed to sign it.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't sign it, the hospital weren't going to do an autopsy.
So the same doctor that came and say give him a stronger medication, the same doctor that she says she don't know what's going on, the same doctor that told her she called helicopter, that took decision, like took 4 hours to take a decision to transfer him to ask for help somewhere else. The same doctor, when we been told that it was, well, me, I said to this, you know what, this, like, if something is wrong, this is wrong. And I said, like, let's go, because I don't understand why the body is stiff. I know she would not like this feeling.
Yeah.
And because I didn't like this feeling.
Was this the same doctor that put the
thing, the mask,
the mask
products
on Adonis' face?
Yes.
With the bleach smell or the bad smell?
Bleach, yeah.
So
then she ran.
So that's the same doctor that run to you guys after them telling you not to leave.
Yeah.
They didn't let you guys spend half an hour with Adonis, so they gave you like what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
After 10 minutes, they all came in the room and start crying.
Okay. Oh, okay. They all came in the room, started crying.
Yeah.
And then they said you guys have to leave.
Then I gave them a speech, and I said to Deza, please, let's go, because the body, you're not gonna like it. This is not even me above. I'm struggling just because of that thing there, that feeling, that you want to do that, you want to hug up and you can't hug up. Do you understand? That feeling of that I'm not dumb. I've been to school. You lied to me because I know above is not. Do you get it? I know about dead people, man.
Yeah.
So I said, let's go. So then when I said that, they took it's like the escort. It's like me. I had two on my left, two on my right. There's a saying, and then they like ushered us to the corridor. Now, what we've been ushered to the corridor, and they say, oh yeah, are we gonna put them in this room or not in this room? They was discussing about a room. Then we sat down, and I see this doctor running, and she whispered in my head. She said, you need to sign this. Have you got your passport? Have you got your passport? You need to sign this.
No, this is the same doctor.
Yeah. She said, because if you don't sign it, the hospital will not gonna do an autopsy. She said, do you want an autopsy? I said, yes. And she said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it personally. I'm gonna do the autopsy personally.
The woman that gave him the mask.
So
we make everyone clear, yeah. So the woman that gave Adonis the mask that caused the reaction is the same woman that was rushing you guys to sign the paper where you guys are not even thinking straight. You're all over the place. You ain't even process what's just happened. So she's whispered to you to sign the paper so you guys can do the autopsy.
Yeah, but
So she can do the autopsy personally herself.
Personally,
we've since learned that that is standard procedure anyway, because
Okay.
of the way the death went.
it would have
By
been an
law,
autopsy anyway.
Yeah.
she did an autopsy
But you
anyway.
guys
She lied. She made me believe that if I didn't sign
signed it.
this,
Yeah. There
it
will be
wouldn't
no
be
autopsy.
autopsy.
So what happened? You signed it.
Yeah.
She just put a pen in our hand.
Yeah, because obviously you guys are not thinking straight. You just want to leave at this point.
Yeah.
So you guys signed it and got in a cab. So
They
what?
pushed us. They put us in a cab. They took
I
us.
thought personally that we was going in a room,
Yeah.
and then I see they just pushing. They opened the door, and there's a cab outside. They push it in the cab, and that was it. That was the last time I saw my baby up to now.
So at this point, how did you feel? What was you guys thinking?
We were just in shock. It was like we didn't even say a word to each other on the way back because it was just surreal. Even now, it's surreal.
Yeah.
It was just. And then we had to come back and tell the children.
Yeah.
And then.
So going home, how was the flight?
He was just taking his empty buggy and all these bottles, and like we only had an hour to pack because we couldn't find any other flights apart from this one flight. So we had about an hour to pack. So we still hadn't processed anything.
Yeah, of course.
And then it was just his buggy and his stuff, and going back without him and leaving him was the worst thing in the world, because these people that had let him down, I had to leave him. I had to leave him with people, with strangers that he doesn't, that have let him down. And I kept saying to them, please look after him. Just look after him. And I had to leave. I was just leaving him there. I just wanted to bring him home. I just wanted him home.
So did you believe at this time what had happened, or the diagnosis they're giving for Adonis passing?
We know something was terribly wrong, but we just didn't know what. We didn't know what. And then when we got back, we were sent a link, and we were just reading along with everybody else. We didn't know anything we were reading in the papers. We had no idea of any of it.
Yeah.
And that was another, slap in the face, that we were sitting there all that time and all this was going on around us and we didn't know.
But at the same time, it was a slap in the face. But to me, after reflection, it was a blessing.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine us not knowing what happened up to now in a different country? However, God bless us with this. On the following day, there was a full article about Adonis' death. So that's what we find out, that they took 6 hours to call a helicopter. That's what we find out. There was no pediatric doctor present. There was none. Zero. Therefore, the hospital was operating without being fully legal. Basically, you're getting interns to do real doctor jobs. And on top of that, not only that you just qualify as a doctor, but you're not even a pediatric. That means that you're not qualified in dealing with babies, but you're working in a baby unit. So we only found that out reading the Portuguese newspapers. We find out that he died in helicopter. We find out the failures. We was not aware of all of that. We wouldn't be aware of all that if it wasn't that newspapers. So therefore, what happened is someone from the hospital got really hurt by what happened to us. And they went straight to the union bus. And because the union bus was already complaining about this hospital because of the shortage of doctors, the lack of staff, the lack of the delayed decision making, we was not aware that all of this was already going on in the background. So the union director now went to the government, the Minister of Justice, to order an investigation. The Minister of Justice was acting up. So the public prosecution in Portugal then took the matter in hand and got this investigation going on Adonis' death. So thanks God, thank you God, because it's only God that make that happen, because they could have swept it under the carpet. They could. It was just some little British tourist that came and had to go back home. Do you get it? So if it wasn't that person, which hopefully one day we'll be able to meet, we wouldn't be there. People would probably look at us like, oh, like what have they done? You know what I mean? But now it seems to be obvious that it is a medical negligence case that just happened.
So right now it's under investigation.
Yeah. So right now it's under investigation by, as I said, the Portuguese public prosecutions.
The health minister there has stepped down now.
So
she's been called to Parliament now to explain what's happened with Adonis, because it's like everyone just wants to forget about him. Everyone just wants to treat him like he never existed, and none of this happened.
And then they lie, and the lie is gonna be on this court. The lie is gonna be exposed, but they lie disgustingly, and that's what the investigation will tell us, how disgusting those people are for lying about a lot of things. Sorry, but you know what I mean. But they lied. We can tell they lied. We know they lied, and that's what we going to prove. So don't know, like as I say, the papers already exposes the lies, i.e. the doctors. Were they or were they not doctors? No, they weren't.
They also closed the hospital.
Only one or two even.
Yeah. So for that point here, i.e. were they qualified doctors or not, the hospital had to be closed for that reason. Because
they closed the hospital.
Correct, because they find out, first of all, that the hospital could not operate without qualified pediatrist. Yeah. So apparently, and then now the new story that just came out, that's this week, apparently those doctors was interns.
Oh wow.
So students.
They were students.
Interns. Yeah, I think that's what interns means. Eh? Students. So they have a lot to answer. That's why we're doing this.
But that could explain why no one introduced themselves to us, because maybe nobody was anybody but students have a title. So we're just reading along with everybody else.
See what's
happening, and we're just kind of left.
So
we still.
Yeah, I understand. So what is life now? What's life like now for you guys?
I haven't been able to bury him yet. I can't put him to rest.
No, we have to come back without the body. We had to come back, as she said, with the buggies, empty buggy. You go underneath it with your buggy, you fill it with your baby sitting in it. Coming back without it. You're going home to a home that is fully baby safe, baby, everything's baby in there, toys, from bed, everything was catered for this baby.
I couldn't.
So on the same night, I had to dismantle everything on the same night. We arrived at what time? We arrived probably 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at home, about that. And I was up until 5, 6, just taking all Adonis stuff down, and because the pain was too much. The pain was too much. You're saying it's still too much. Every time I fall on a dummy, every time I fall on a baby bottle, every time I fall on a nappy.
Just silly stuff, like I was doing some washing and it's just his sock and a vest was in there and it's just,
you know what I mean?
Stupid, that little things like that.
My life, they destroy my life, bro. They destroy me and my family life. That's what happened. Who can live after that? Like normally, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, we have to hide from the kids. That's the real life. You can't cry in front of your kids every day, all day. So you have to hide. You have to hold it in. You have to be strong, as they say, innit? But I don't know, man. We never recover from that. Never, ever. Ever. It wasn't a car crash, wasn't a swimming pool accident, was not a wasn't a long-term disease, was not a sudden, just like that. You take your baby for a bronchitis, and then you come out without your baby. Please explain that to 2023. Please, somebody explain that. So that's where we strongly believe, and as others, that there's strong medical and clinical negligence. This baby didn't have to die. Now they keep on saying sepsis. You know, the baby didn't die of sepsis. I'm sorry to say. The baby died of medical negligence. Now we told you the accounts, like step by step. So you know as I know. You know as I know. What did they put in the mask? What did they put in the mask? What is the name of that product they put in the mask? Did you find out? Well, did you ask? Because they said one is Sabutimol, and then the stronger dose, well, according to what I've read, the product is called bromide. Who can help? I don't know, but I don't know what that is. I know it smells like bleach, and I know it's from they give that to my baby. I know that's what happened, innit? But obviously, she get it. But that's what happened. I don't know if that's what killed it. What they said on the paper, it aspirated. What made you aspirate it? The fact that you vomit. Why did you vomit? Because you smell something that make you vomit, which is that product, bromide. Nobody can tell me nothing. But as I said, let's go through it, innit? Let's go through it. But it's just all there, man. All here. Now, because of the Portuguese investigation, we can't get access to no documentation. Everything was seized. They try to tell us we can request the document as parent, but we might gonna have to wait up to 9 months. So we're struggling for a death certificate. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Every document that they send, knowing that we English, they send it in Portuguese and saying to the coroner, you translate. When it's a legal document, that should be translated by the hospital because you can't make mistakes. Yeah, of course. Up to now. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing this. How many parents, imagine you go on holidays with your kid and then they get seen by some doctors that ain't got no clue what they're doing. And it's not even that we talking. Can you imagine the Portuguese government? The Portuguese government. Can you imagine? Hi. That means it was a problem in Portugal from a long time. Now, so obviously everything become political. So now with some liquor fish that don't have no support from nothing, from no one. That's why we're doing this. It's not for the just go to GoFundMe, but because we have to go to for a battle. But people need to know that this has happened in 2023 in Portugal, in a European country where your health system should be top of the top. No child in England dying like this. No, none, zero. Because the first thing that they're going to give you is antibiotic. Even if they can't find nothing in England, they're going to say, yo, you know what, by precaution, have 1 or 2 doses of antibiotics, and at least you get it. So why can't they act like this over there? Well, now we know now, because there was trainees. They don't know what they're doing. There was like interns.
Did Adonis' body come back?
He came back. He's been back now about 2 weeks. But he's just like, I just want him to rest now. He's gone from Portugal to the repatriation, the chapel of rest. Then he came to our funeral director's home. Now he's in a hospital up in Cambridge because they're doing the autopsy. I'm still waiting for the funeral home to get back to me, and he's just like, I just want him to rest now. I don't know what to touch him again. I don't know when else to touch him. I don't.
And you know what they did? You know what they did, TK? They drain all his blood.
In Portugal?
Yeah. Sorry. Don't mean me, I don't know, man. I just can't. But anyways, the situation is that we had to wait. We had to choose between waiting 10 weeks until the autopsy in England is carried out.
So they had to do the autopsy in England without the blood?
We were told that because it had already been done in Portugal, we couldn't. If we wanted to prove that it was anything but sepsis that killed him, they wouldn't be able to. We spoke to a group of doctors who said that they could take his hair, and the pathologist is willing to do that for us. But again, we won't get an answer to any of the results for another 10 weeks.
So you see how they try to cover themselves,
So in so they sent a body without the blood. So they ask?
No. But the problem was the transport. So we didn't want the body to be embalmed. So they had to find a solution and compromises and whatever.
But they were going to embalm him. They were going to, and it's only because I said not to that we could even get a second autopsy. I had to put it in writing to the British Embassy. I had to make sure that everyone that was involved were fully aware that I did not want him embalmed. And
it's like the missus knew that from the start, because from the first day he died,
because they would have just done it.
She said, I don't want that, because I think that's what they was planning to do. So we got the British Embassy.
So you find it more difficult. So have they done the first autopsy in the UK?
So we're just waiting for him to just come back now, so we can.
But the further test, they wanted to do further tests, so that's why we've been given the options of either wait 10 weeks, or they will just keep the organs for further test, and then they can send the body to us so we can carry on with burial.
Okay. Sorry guys, man. So have you guys had support since?
No one's
Yep.
apologised. Nobody's acknowledged. I thought, I was under the impression that when something horrendous happens, people come out of the woodwork to help you. And we're just lost. We are literally in the middle of a political debate that we never wanted to be part of. So we're trying to deal with that. We're trying to deal with the other children and the impact that it's had with them. And we wouldn't even know where to start. We have no idea.
We had no support from the insurance that we're paying money to. They didn't support us because we had to pay our own pocket to find a flight back home. We had no support from the British Embassy. Like, I would expect for something like that, the British Embassy fight for British citizens abroad, especially if they died abroad and the family going through these things, a British family, I don't know. But I haven't heard nothing from the British Embassy, to be honest, in regard to support that can be offered in dealing with this thing in Portugal. No support from, what do you call it, the kids' school. I haven't had any support from the kids' school.
No
Even
support from the kids' school.
Not even a postcard, not a flower, not a nothing. No, from nobody. I'll be honest with you.
It's like the school's looking at it from a business perspective, where we were told that
the school asked us where's the money's gonna go to.
The school asks you guys where the GoFundMe,
where the money gonna go to. Like, you don't know GoFundMe.
Wow.
Anyways, but yeah, as I say, as far as support, we had no support, not a letter. The minutes we're hearing the story about us everywhere, in Australia, in America, in France, in Portugal, in everywhere the story is, everyone is sort of upset that this happened to a baby or a family in those days. But yeah, this big investigation in Portugal to the point that minister resigned, but yeah, no one has contacted us.
And it's hurtful as well.
No one has sent us a card. No one has sent us nothing. Nothing.
He's not just a 10-month-old baby. He's got a name. He has a family that loved him very, very much. You know, he just keeps being referred to as, oh, baby from the UK.
British baby.
His name is Adonis.
Yeah. And all the stories, British baby. That's why we're doing this. That's why it's justice for Adonis. Everyone will know his name, and you're going to call him by his name. And that's what it is, because at the moment, this baby so far, I mean, you can hear the story. Can you tell me at what point this baby had any decency at all? At what point? So that's why we're hoping that we're going to try to give him a good send-off. Because this baby deserves decency. How many autopsies? Do you know what autopsy is? So it's like, I'm mad. Sorry, I'm just mad, innit? I'm mad. I can't stop being mad. That's why I just stay quiet, because when I open my mouth, it's just not. I just, do you get it? I'm mad.
So have you guys done any interviews?
Yeah, we did one BBC interview.
Okay. What? Okay. So you just done one so far?
We've done the Guardian newspaper. We did an interview with them.
Yeah.
Done an interview with a Portuguese reporter.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few more coming up.
Okay.
But it's difficult with the tabloids because it's edited and
they take
there's a lot taken out. But yeah, we just have to tell his story because it's not fair.
Yeah, the truth will come out.
So
it's not fair at all.
What support are you guys looking for now?
We need help to get justice.
Yeah.
For Adonis. Obviously, because he didn't pass away in the UK.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
There's a minefield of things that we need to take into consideration. We have to have British representation. as well as Portuguese representation.
Yeah.
So we need help with everything.
All aspects.
From...
First of all, I think we need help to keep the story going, because, as I said, there's been many attempts to try to brush it under the carpet.
Yeah.
All right. There's many attempts to try to not tell the truth.
Yeah.
About what happened to Adonis, and one of the I think it's a lie, not a lie, but anyways, the fact that it's too simplified to say that this baby died of sepsis, because I don't believe, and regardless, he could have been saved, whatever, what do you call it, how bad the bronchitis was. Does it make sense? Nobody died of bronchitis nowadays. So that we know already is a lie. So something has happened, and that's why we need to know. So we need to keep the story alive in order to get the truth until we get the truth.
Of course.
Second, as she explained, because of jurisdiction, because this crime, this death happened in Portugal, we in the UK can't really do anything juridically, because we haven't got jurisdictions. So we can't get any solicitors to do things apart from advise and be there as counsels, which we will have, because obviously we don't trust nothing in Portugal. So we also obviously have, because of that reason, to get a team in Portugal. So we got a team of solicitors in Portugal that's now started on the case. So luckily, because we had the travel insurance, so the travel insurance took charge of some of the costs. However, as a family, we still has 45,000 pounds of legal costs and travel.
And they said that's just the minimum
costs, and that's not included the appeals. Hopefully it won't go today. Hopefully the people just gonna come correct and just tell the truth. So we won't have to go all the way to the European court, because that's where we're willing to go. So, as I said, this cost is ours. So the way we go by it is to do a GoFundMe and ask everyone, even if it's €1, €2, €5, anything, just to allow us to go through this and get answers as a family.
So that's how people. So that's how you want people to help you
because we also want. There's a lot that we want to change out of this. We want a lot of change that's going to come out of this.
What we want to talk about. So that's the main. That's what else can we do? And then prayers. Send prayers as well, because I believe in prayers. I believe in prayers. So I believe if all of us pray for those people to be held accountable, and those people to actually go through the justice process and pay for what they've done. Then let's go for this as well, like prayer groups.
It's important that we do this as well, because obviously people are watching this. There might be people that have booked a holiday to Portugal. So if I can just warn and not let another parent go through this pain, I'll do whatever it takes, because this is just, we're never going to get over this.
So how do you want people to share Adonis' story?
We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Justice for Adonis, or remember Adonis.
So guys, you can see on my pin what I just pinned. You guys can follow them. That's them at the bottom. You can DM them, follow them.
As much as you can.
So how can people contact you guys?
Through Messenger, Facebook, same, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We try to be everywhere. We try to be as accessible as possible, because there's a lot of work that's gonna come at the back of it, because
Of
we
course.
don't want it to happen to any other family,
Of
at least any other British family,
or
anybody really. But yeah.
So what's the plan now? What do you guys plan to do now? What's the next step?
I just want to give my boy the best send off and put him to. That right now is just up there. I just want him to have to be put to rest. I just want him to rest now, and after that, we've got such a fight coming up, because this can't just go unnoticed. This can't just be swept under the carpet. He is
Can't think
not
you
going to be
can
swept under
kill
the
people
carpet.
baby like that and then just
You're not going to do
just
that.
go about your business. No, it's not going to happen.
And then there's a lot, like I said, that I want to change in regards to even simple things like having interpreters in hospitals in Europe. We have them here. We have them in police stations. Why was there not anybody there sat with us, taking us through the whole process? Because I'm telling you, if I had someone there and they said that this was happening, I would have scooped my baby up and I would have run. I would have run from the hospital.
Yeah.
Because that's how we are as people. I mean, like, and that's the thing. We didn't have no information, because we are people, like, you know what I mean? We're taking informed decisions, so we didn't have a chance to do that. Which it was just like being blind. So as you said, like, if we can do something like that, i.e., have interpreters or translation system within hospital, or at least for people like us that goes abroad, whatever country you go, you should be on the phone or something where you can have someone that explain to you everything that you're hearing or seeing.
Just things like even the school bereavement services in UK are non-existent.
Yeah.
There's so much that can be changed. There's so much, and I want to create a legacy for Adonis and make his death something, and I want change, because this can't ever happen again. Ever.
Yeah.
That's our mission now, and it's just like to try to contribute to it never happening again.
No.
So closing the statement, the GoFundMe, why have you made the GoFundMe, and what is the cost, and how do you plan on using it to raise, after raising the funds, how do you plan on using it?
We have we've got a really good team that has been put together for us, and they are linked. So we've got UK and Portugal, but unfortunately, where we could apply for funding and get help here, we can't do that in Portugal. So it's literally going to go on this battle that we're going to have.
Legal fees,
the
basically
legal
court
fees
case,
and the court
fees,
because
legal fees, travel, and accommodation.
Because otherwise, if we can't raise the funds, and we're here raising, we're here doing our best, we can't fight anything.
From over here, we can't do nothing. We have to go to Portugal. We have to get Portuguese solicitors and travel with also British legal people. So we have going towards that.
So we have to raise, was it 60 or 70?
Is it
75?
75 grand
to start the process. But have you guys already? Have they started the process already, or do you have to raise first?
The process has started already. The court case started, but because there were so many different investigations, because there's investigations there's investigations in the UK, there's autopsy, it's because there's loads of things going on in each country at the moment.
Yeah.
So it has started, but then we have to wait for all the investigation.
So in the UK, we had to take charge and do our own investigation, because the reason being, as I explained, guys, we just experienced something where we trust people where we shouldn't be trusting.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing everything like independently in the UK. Same in Portugal, we have to do it independently. However, because the government did their own investigation. So hopefully we'll be able to get stuff from that to fight that will be in our favor for our case. So and as I say, we live in the UK and we have to go Portugal. We have to be present. So therefore we have it's a bit of back and forth that's gonna happen. So all of that.
Raising this would get justice for Adonis.
It would get justice for Adonis, but we also want to give back. This will benefit people even after this, even after the court case.
It's not gonna stop. Just stop there. Oh yeah, go for me. We get we get justice for Adonis, and it stops there. It will never stop. It will never stop. It's the beginning of something. That's my life mission now. I don't want to do nothing else but that now, because I believe that it's worth doing it. It's worth doing it. Imagine you go on holidays. You want to be confident.
We want to even do, because at the end of the day, doctors are not God. Doctors are not God. And I think if parents are really confident when they walk into a hospital that you can ask for a second opinion, you can put your foot down, you can tell them, no, this is my child, no. And I feel like a lot of us do go into hospital.
Rather than wait 4 hours, don't you think that if we was aware, as Deza said, we wouldn't grab him and drive 50 minutes to another hospital, then wait 4 hours for an helicopter that came 3 hours later? That's 7 hours in total. Come on. If we was just aware of a little bit, or just as I say, we were blind by the language barriers. So we don't want this to happen ever again, and we will fight for whoever. That won't happen to you. We want to guarantee that, but we first of all need your help to make that happen, because once it goes to court and it becomes a big case and a case of reference, I guarantee you this gonna move stuff. Nothing will be the same. We will feel safer to go on holidays, whatever country in the world, and if anything happens, God forbid, you will be looked after properly, being aware of everything that's happening to you while you're dealing with what's happening to you. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's for everyone. It's not the Adonis thing. It starts with Adonis, but I guarantee you it's going to be relevant to everyone, and it's a fight that I personally will never stop fighting.
Of course. So closing in, have you guys got anything else to say?
I just want to thank everyone that has shared, everybody that's donated, everybody that's reached out to us. There's been people that have helped us, as much as there's been some, negativity with, support, we have had some absolutely brilliant people come into our lives, and we'd be forever grateful to those people. But we just want to say thank you for everything.
I want to say thank you as well. I just want to remind everybody that Adonis was 10 months old. His birthday is on the 19th of July. So next month is his birthday. He would have been 1 year old. He has committed no crime, no sins, nothing. He's like an innocent. He went straight to God, as my belief want me to know. And it's everybody's baby. It's not just my baby. It's everybody's baby. Adonis. And I feel like he was an angel, because as I said, as I explained to you guys, he could have been swept under the carpet, but look what's happening around the world. So we should all contribute to that, and we should all see it as the beginning of some changes, not only in the UK, not only in Portugal, but everywhere in the world, man. Let's be the catalyst to those changes, man. Let's make my son death be the catalyst to those changes, man. So I love you all, and thank you, everyone, and thank you. Just appreciate everything from now to ever.
Thank you guys. What I want to say is you guys are I don't know what you guys are going through. I can't imagine, but you guys are strong people, um,
Thank you.
and I hope a blessing will come from this. I know you lot must feel it's like it's the end of the world for you guys, but it's just started. Yeah, so take strength. Things happen for a reason. Only God knows why this has happened, but let this be a blessing to you guys.
Thank
You
you,
lot,
TK. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
you lot will rise from this.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you lot will rise from this because you've. I know you lot have touched people in this life, 100%. You lot have. If anyone else has gone through this, I know you guys have made impact. So I pray that
Thank you.
Adonis will make an impact in this situation, and this will be a blessing for everyone. Adonis is still alive. He's still here with us.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
you guys stay strength. Thank you guys. So I beg you guys follow what I just pinned. Remember Adonis. DM them, message them. If you lot can support the GoFundMe, so we can seek justice. Okay. Thank you guys. I'm gone.